From the outside, Martin Lawrence looked like the man who had it all. He was the face of comedy in the 1990s. A superstar who made millions laugh with his quick humor and unforgettable characters. But you won't believe the truth that lived behind those laughs. His story was not just about fame and success. It was about chaos, breakdowns, and shocking turns that no one expected. Let me tell you, before Hollywood knew him as the king of comedy, Martin's life had already been marked by struggle. He was born in Frankfurt, West Germany in 1965 to American parents who were stationed there. When the family moved back to the United States, they settled in Maryland, where life was far from easy. His parents divorced when he was only 8 years old, and the little boy carried pain that most children never spoke about. This is how the young Martin began to shape himself, using laughter as a shield against the harshness of life. Even as a teenager, people around him noticed something different. He wasn't just another kid telling jokes. He had a spark, a natural energy that pulled people in. What makes this story different is that while many kids dreamed of sports or music, Martin was obsessed with making others laugh. He performed for classmates, teachers, and anyone who would listen. Slowly, this gift became his escape, his survival, and his weapon. By the late 1980s, destiny took an unexpected turn for him when he appeared on Star Search. He didn't win, but Hollywood saw enough to realize that this young man carried something electric. Soon he was landing roles on television, and one of his early breaks came on What's Happening Now. For Martin, this was just the beginning. But here's the shocking part. While his career looked like it was moving in the right direction, the pressures of the industry were already starting to creep in. Fame wasn't simple, and for someone who grew up carrying so much pain, the spotlight could be heavy. Still, he pushed forward, and in 1992 came the moment that changed everything. His own sitcom Martin premiered, and almost overnight, he became a household name. Millions tuned in every week laughing at his wild characters like Shin and Jerome and admiring his sharp wit. The show was a cultural landmark, something that gave voice to black comedy while also breaking through to mainstream America. This is where it gets interesting. Martin wasn't just starring in a show. He was building a legacy. Fans loved him, critics praised him, and Hollywood crowned him the new king of comedy. Yet, behind the laughter, Martin's world was not as perfect as it looked. The pressure of carrying a hit show, the grind of stand-up, and the weight of constant fame began to wear him down. Friends close to him later revealed that Martin struggled privately with mental health and with balancing the chaos of stardom. The craziest part was that while fans celebrated his success on screen, his personal life was starting to crack under the surface. He was making people laugh across the world, but he was fighting battles that no one could see. And soon those hidden battles would explode into controversies that shocked Hollywood and nearly destroyed everything he built. At the peak of his fame in the mid-1990s, Martin Lawrence seemed unstoppable. He was hosting Def Comedy Jam, starring in blockbuster films, and pulling in millions of viewers each week with his sitcom. On the outside, he had everything that any comedian could dream of: money, fame, respect, and a loyal fan base. But here's the shocking part. Behind the cameras, Martin was slowly losing control. Fame brought not only pressure, but also temptations and distractions that began to consume him. Insiders whispered that he was struggling with stress, paranoia, and personal demons that were difficult to hide. What makes the story different is that his troubles didn't stay in the shadows for long. They exploded in public, and the world watched as the comedy legend unraveled. The first signs came from the set of his own show. In 1997, his co-star Tisha Campbell filed a lawsuit against him claiming harassment and misconduct. This scandal shook Hollywood because Martin wasn't just a show. It was a cultural movement. Fans who once tuned in to laugh were now heartbroken by the drama behind the scenes. The tension became so bad that Tisha refused to appear in multiple episodes during the final season. And when she did return for the last episode, she and Martin were not even allowed to film scenes together. The craziest part was that while viewers saw the show as pure comedy, the people behind it were living in a storm of pain, mistrust, and anger. But the controversies didn't stop there. In 1994, Martin was banned from ever appearing on Saturday Night Live again after he delivered a monologue that NBC called too vulgar and inappropriate to be broadcast. The moment cemented his reputation as Hollywood's wild card. Let me tell you, Martin wasn't just known for being funny. He was now seen as unpredictable, uncontrollable, and dangerous to networks. Still, his film career was taking off. His role in Bad Boys alongside Will Smith proved that he was more than a sitcom star. He was a box office powerhouse. Yet, this success came with even greater pressure, and the cracks in his personal life were only widening. This is how things spiraled out of control. In May 1996, Martin was spotted in the streets of Los Angeles, wearing a heavy coat on a hot day, waving a gun, and screaming at passing cars. Witnesses described him as paranoid and completely disconnected from reality. Police said he believed people were targeting him. The scene shocked fans everywhere. Here was a man who had made the world laugh, now standing in the middle of the street, unraveling before their eyes. But destiny took an unexpected turn because that wasn't the only close call that year. Just months later, Martin collapsed into a coma after jogging in extreme heat while wearing multiple layers of clothing. Doctors revealed his body temperature had skyrocketed and he nearly lost his life. This is where it gets interesting. Martin's near-death experience and public breakdowns weren't just shocking headlines. They became proof that Hollywood fame could push even the brightest stars to the edge. Fans no longer saw just a comedian. They saw a man battling for his own survival. And while many thought his career was finished after these scandals, Martin wasn't ready to give up. In fact, his fight back into the spotlight would be one of the most unexpected comebacks Hollywood had ever seen. After those terrifying breakdowns and near-death scares, many believed Martin Lawrence's career had reached its end. Hollywood had seen stars fall before, and the public assumed Martin would quietly fade away. But you won't believe how he turned everything around. Destiny took an unexpected turn in 1999 when Martin made his big return to the big screen with Blue Streak. Against all odds, the film became a huge hit, earning over $100 million worldwide. Audiences didn't care about the scandals. They just wanted to laugh again. And Martin gave them exactly that. Let me tell you, his comeback wasn't just about making people laugh. It was about proving to the world and to himself that he could rise after hitting rock bottom. And the craziest part, he didn't stop there. Just a year later, Martin took on one of his most iconic roles in Big Mama's House. The movie exploded into a massive franchise, showing that Martin still had the magic that Hollywood couldn't ignore. This is how he once again climbed to the top, making millions at the box office and re-establishing himself as one of comedy's biggest stars. In 2003, he reunited with Will Smith for Bad Boys 2, and together they created another global hit, pulling in nearly $300 million. On screen, it looked like Martin was back and better than ever. But here's the shocking part. Behind the laughter and success, he was still battling personal struggles that refused to leave him alone. Friends and insiders often spoke about Martin's private life during those years, revealing that he still faced paranoia, mood swings, and ongoing health scares. What makes the story different is that while his career looked unstoppable, his personal battles remained hidden just below the surface. Then in 2010, those struggles once again spilled into the public when Martin was found unresponsive in his Los Angeles home. His team explained it as severe exhaustion and dehydration, but fans feared the worst. Rumors spread quickly that his health had taken a dangerous turn. Luckily, he survived, but the scare reminded everyone that Martin's journey was still far from steady. Financial problems also began making headlines. Despite earning millions from films and tours, reports of money mismanagement and expensive divorces followed him. Some even claimed Martin was close to bankruptcy, though he never confirmed it publicly. Still, he refused to step away from the stage. Instead, he went back to stand-up, selling out theaters across the country. This is where it gets interesting. No matter how many scandals or health scares circled him, his fans never abandoned him. They kept showing up, proving their loyalty, and reminding Martin that he was still loved. But the craziest part of Martin's later years was how the public began noticing subtle changes in him. During the press tour for Bad Boys for Life in 2010, many fans commented that he seemed quieter, slower, and less energetic than his co-star Will Smith. Suddenly, speculation about his health reignited, with people asking if Martin was secretly battling something serious. Every photo, every interview, every appearance was dissected online, with fans worrying if their comedy legend was hiding a deeper truth. By the time Martin Lawrence entered his late 50s, the conversation around him had completely shifted. No longer was he just the loud, quick-witted comedian who gave us unforgettable characters in blockbuster films. Instead, fans began asking if Martin was truly okay. Social media buzzed with speculation about his health from diabetes.